Shalom, family. Good to see everybody here. Hope you're doing well. Well, we're going to talk about Donald Trump. He is trying to get DC ready for the 250-year anniversary of America. And part of it is that Archie's building and the golden Donald Trump statue and all the stuff he's doing to try to get the place ready. Well, he wanted to paint the reflecting pool blue because he said he wanted it to look like the water in the Caribbean. So people went out there and started working on the reflecting pool, and they painted it blue. Well, the next day, they showed up and green algae was everywhere. Everywhere. The reflection pool was filled with it. So Donald Trump, being the high IQ expert that he is, told them to pour peroxide in the reflecting pool to kill the green algae. Well, they followed his direction and they poured it in there. Yes, they did. They poured it in there. Well, not only it didn't kill the green algae was still going strong. The blue paint that they used on the reflecting pool peeled off after they put the peroxide in. It peeled off. So the green algae was still in there with chunks of blue paint floating in the reflecting pool. And Donald Trump paid $14 million for that, y'all. And that's how the job turned out. 14 million taxpayer dollars. And the pool probably looks worse than it did when they first started. Oh man. See, this is what happens when we have such brilliant high IQ people in charge, y'all. It is just this is what happens when we have such brilliant minds in charge. So, anyway, y'all, before we get started with that, I just wanted to remind you that my stores are all 45% off. You can grab any items you want for 45% off. TikTok Shop, Shopify, and Etsy. The sale will go on until the 21st, Sunday, and it will end at 11:59 p.m. So grab it up while you can. And I have a lot on hand. So y'all, let's get to it. All right. Okay, give me a one if you can see my screen. Wow, talk about money wasted. Wasted all that money. Now you're going to have to clean up the reflecting pool because y'all jacked it up. Thank you for the ones.
After the Trump administration splashed out almost $15 million trying to turn the Lincoln Memorial reflecting pool an American flag blue, huge chunks of blue paint had begun peeling off and floated to the surface. Shortly after the pool was refurbished, algae returned, turning the water green. Workers were told to dump hydrogen peroxide into the pool, dislodging sections of blue sealant in the process.
That American flag blue paint, it's peeling away. I'm here at the Lincoln Memorial reflecting pool, and some astounding developments regarding this project, which the president himself has taken such a great interest in. You remember $14 million was spent to drain this whole thing and to paint the bottom American flag blue, was the color he said, to make it reflect more magnificently. As you can see, it's all green now. They know that. They're trying to kill the algae. But as they're doing that, something else has happened. Check this out. That American flag blue paint, it's peeling away. The $14 million job to redo the bottom of this reflecting pool is falling apart before our eyes. The algae is still here, but the paint appears to be going away.
It's been about 2 weeks since President Trump announced that work had been completed here at the reflecting pool. But check this out. That American flag blue color that the president picked out is now peeling off with chunks of paint floating in the water. This comes after a major algae bloom turned the water green. This week, crews were spotted pouring hydrogen peroxide in it to treat it. The Interior Department said it also used an advanced technology to kill the algae and asserted that the reflecting pool water was crystal clear. CBS News reached out to the agency about the peeling paint, but the president said that these renovations would last for, quote, 50 to 100 years. At least one of the companies involved in the project had never received a federal contract before. This spruce up at the reflecting pool comes ahead of America's 250th birthday celebration and has cost taxpayers more than $14 million.
I can clean it up. We did a fantastic job, and Department of Interior was amazing. Doug Burgum, really absolutely amazing. And you're going to have something you're going to be very proud of, and it'll last for 50 to 100 years before you have to do anything with very strong, powerful substance that we use. And we picked a color called American Flag Blue. We had color choices. And before it was just gray, it was a color of concrete and stone. So it's going to be really special.
And we're going to scoop up a water sample to see if we can get this tested.
CNN independently took the sample of water and consulted with a pool store that regularly tests water to help read the results. It showed phosphate levels far higher than what is recommended to keep algae at bay based on estimates for a pool that holds 6.5 million gallons of water.
If there's already some phosphate fertilizer in the water, that's really opportunistic, especially for the blue-green algae that can fix nitrogen. So they are having a field day out here, probably.
The Department of Interior says they believe some of the initial problem was residual algae that had accumulated in pipes and insists the filtration system called the ozone nanobubbler is working.
President Trump's $14 million Lincoln Memorial Reflecting Pool project went from a dark American flag blue to then a murky neon green, and now, according to the U.S. Interior Department, crystal clear blue again. The Trump administration has been deploying the latest technology in algae remediation to the reflecting pool. They sent in crews clad in waders to vacuum up clumps of algae and dispatched workers to dump gallons of hydrogen peroxide in the pool to clear it up. The Department of Interior says a state-of-the-art filtration technology known as an ozone nanobubbler was used. The Interior Department's press team says the advanced nanobubbler technology very effectively killed the algae that has plagued every Lincoln reflecting pool reopening, most infamously Obama's reopening, since 1922. The reflecting pool water is crystal clear, and our National Park Service team is now vacuuming up the dead algae resting on the bottom of some parts of the reflecting pool. We went to see it for ourselves this morning, and it appears to be improving as dueling pumps continue to clean it out. The Interior Department says that the nanobubbler and a full-time maintenance crew from U.S. Fish and Wildlife Services should make these fixes more permanent. Whether the algae resurfaces is an open question.
And we're going to scoop up a water sample to see if we can get this tested.
CNN independently took the sample of water and consulted with a pool store that regularly tests water to help read the results. It showed phosphate levels far higher than what is recommended to keep algae at bay based on estimates for a pool that holds 6.5 million gallons of water.
If there's already some phosphate fertilizer in the water, that's really opportunistic, especially for the blue-green algae that can fix nitrogen. So they are having a field day out here, probably.
The Department of Interior says they believe some of the initial problem was residual algae that had accumulated in pipes and insists the filtration system called the ozone nanobubbler is working.
Yeah, it looked like it's working all right. It's still green. Wow. Wow. Y'all, let's be real. 250 years from 1776 until now. You know why this thing is falling apart on Donald Trump? Because their time is up. And this is another indicator. That's why things are going wrong for them in this project. It's going wrong because his time is up. Yeah. Well, it was a swampland. If you remember, and I did a live on this, where before DC is what it is today, it was swampland. It was swampland. And what does that reflecting pool looks like? Swamp. Okay. It's just going back to what it was before. That's all. But their time is up. It doesn't matter what celebration they're planning and what they're going to do. It doesn't matter. You know, these things are going to go wrong. And I'm telling you, on the 4th of July, remember, he doesn't even have entertainment because all of the acts canceled on Donald Trump. But you know what? The Obamas had their celebration, I think, last night. They had Jennifer Hudson and they had a whole bunch of people there that sung. So they weren't running from them, but it's funny how everybody ran from Donald Trump. So Donald Trump, y'all, you know, since he don't have any real entertainment, he's going to have a rally. So, you know, so he's going to be on the stage babbling for probably about a good 2 hours, more than likely. So that is going to be the entertainment. Donald Trump having a rally and babbling for probably about 2 straight hours of babble. So that's the celebration, you know. But I'm just dying to see how many people are going to show up. Because I remember when he had that military parade, man, nobody came. Nobody came to that military parade. It was empty. I think they said it was probably approximately 2,000 people. Now, you think about what we're a country of 330 million people, and only 2,000 people showed up for that. That was it. And I think he was mad over that too. He was angry. So y'all, he may actually be angry again. And we don't know what the Most High is going to have in store for this place at all. You know, he could bring a storm, a hurricane, heavy winds. He could bring all kinds of stuff down there. So we shall see. We shall see. The 4th is really not that far off anymore. So it's going to be interesting to see how this 4th of July, the 250-year anniversary of America, will turn out. I'm definitely going to keep my eye on it. So I hope it turns out better than this reflecting pool, because that's money down the drain. And this country is already insolvent. They don't need to be losing no money like this on some messy job that he gave contractors a chance to fix this up, and look at what happened. I'm just saying. So, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and conclude. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your support. And I'm going to go ahead and conclude. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening, everybody, and be on the lookout for my next live. Shalom, family.